Well, today I woke up this morning, I went outside and the temperature was 44 degrees out. Well, anyway, today is a beautiful fall day, and what we're going to make today is going to be another kind of apple thing. It's going to be an apple crumb top coffee cake. Oh, it's going to be so good. As you can see, we still have our apples here. It's still fall. And what I want to do now is I want to sift 1 and 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. It should be sifted because you want the flour to be nice and, soft and smooth and everything. There we go. Oh, it was so cold this morning. It felt really good. Couldn't get over how cold it was. It was like in the 40s. Wow. Okay. All right, now what I want to do now is I want to add in baking powder. Where did I put the baking powder, folks? Does anybody see my baking powder? It's right here. Okay, we use baking soda. Today we're using baking powder. I'm adding in 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. There we go. There we go. Didn't go on baking powder, folks. We're going to have to buy more. You know, you ever look at something you can't find, it's right under your nose? Happens to me every day. I think I'm getting a little bit older now, so my minds are not clear anymore. All right, nothing to do about that. Put this aside. Now what I want to do now is I'm going to beat in, I have about 1/3 teaspoon of unsalted butter. It must be soft, it must be unsalted, okay? I'm going to add this with the sugar and the egg. 3/4 cup of sugar and 1 fresh farm egg. And we're going to mix this together, and then we're going to go to the next step. And then we're going to add in the milk. Okay, here we go. I want to now add in 1/2 cups of fresh farm milk. It should be whole milk. That would be the best kind of milk to use for a cake like this. All right, what I want to do now is I want to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. Take this out before we have an accident. I always have nightmares about accidents. Put this over here for now. We're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla extract gives things a very good flavor. Now, I'm not going to grate the apple this time. What I want to do is I'm just going to cut it into small little pieces. I'll show you what to do. Okay, small little pieces. That's all you need to do. You don't have to grate this at all. Almost like French fries, but not quite. Apples come in different flavors. Some are tart, some are sweet, all different flavors. Oh, my daughter and I went apple picking yesterday. Oh, it was kind of wet but beautiful. Get over here. Where are you going? Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients in with the wet. We're going to go to the crumb top and we're going to add in the apples. Every apple is different. Hamlet, what was the name of that apple we just tasted? Oh, it was so good. What was the name of it?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Oh dear. You know, all apples have different names. There's Red Delicious, there's McIntosh, there's Romans, you name it. There's different kinds of apples.
When I'm done filming, I'll look it up online to see which one it was.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Because we picked like a bunch of
different ones. We picked so many apples yesterday, folks. We picked Golden Delicious, we picked McIntyre, we picked Golden Delicious, Red Delicious. I tell you, there's so many different apples out there, I can't even keep up with them anymore. I'm not kidding you. I don't know what's coming into season next, but obviously these things are now out in season, full bloom. And when you pick an apple from a tree, it has a unique taste. Now what I want to do now is, get some of these lumpy bumpies out here. What I want to do now is add in the flour, the apples. Got about 2 small apples, and this will be more than enough to get flour. This is going right into the batter. And yes, you can leave the skin on. The skin will not hurt you. If anything, it's got vitamins in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the batter in the cake pan and I'm going to do the topping. Now, after going through a hot summer, folks, going outside this morning, oh, it felt so good. You have no idea. Oh. I'm going to spread this, and then we're going to do the topping. It's very easy. Don't worry about the apples showing. It's going to mix back in with the cake, and it's going to be fantastic. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the crumb topping. I want to add in 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. It's like when you make an apple crisp, similar, but not quite. I'm adding in 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to mix it together. I'm just going to go right over the batter. And I'm going to add in cinnamon. Now, if you ever run out of cinnamon, do not panic. Sometimes if you have cinnamon sugar in the house, you can use that as a substitute. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the cinnamon in with the sugar. I'm adding a little bit more in. I always like to have a little bit more, you know. It's always better to have a little bit more than not enough. There we go. I mix this with my whisk. And I have one more thing to add in. Butter. Take a tablespoon of butter. That's all you need. And I'm going to mix it together. And it will melt in. Guarantee you. Mix it together. I always say, folks, and this is not a joke, cinnamon and apples are buddies. You ever notice in the fall time you smell so much cinnamon? I'm not surprised. And make it nice and crumbly, and then what we're going to do is, this actually melted in my hands. You know, I was just saying a while back, when you make a pie crust, the butter has to be ice cold, not like this, because you will not get a pie crust. It will just fall apart like that. You don't want that to happen. Okay, let's get this all together. Now what we're going to do now is, I'm going to put this over here. We're going to sprinkle it on top of the batter. Very similar to an apple crumb, but except it's a little bit different. There we go. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do now is put a dab of cinnamon. I'm going to take a little bit of cinnamon. And we're going to pop it in the oven and cook it for, let's say, until it's golden brown. Until the knife comes out. I would say about 15 minutes. And here we have mittens. Did I ever tell you that mittens is an Italian gourmet? Every time I make Italian food, mittens shows up. Same thing with chicken. Mittens loves Italian food and chicken. I always say maybe in her past life she lived in Italy and she was just an Italian gourmet. So here we have homemade, delicious, wonderful coffee cake with crumb topping on it. Look how, I'm sorry folks, allergies are bad. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my gosh. And this is best served with a nice cool glass of plain milk. If you kiddies like chocolate milk, a little bit of chocolate milk would be good. From Deborah Wade's Home Country Kitchen, have a great day and please subscribe to my show.